Students, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the subject called as wastewater treatment. So the first topic is about a small introduction about the wastewater. What is the meaning of industrial wastewater? What are the typical properties of wastewater and how it can be treated? What are the qualities of wastewater? So those introduction remarks I am going to give in this lecture. So as all we know that so wastewater is nothing but a water containing any unwanted impurities. So that is called as wastewater. As you can see that from industries we get different level of pollutants or contaminants. So it may be like dissolved solids, suspended particles. So it may be like any salt contaminant or any fats and oil. So any type of contaminants or heavy metals also may come along with the industrial wastewater. Now it can be defined as an objectionable water from industry that may contain pollutants. So this pollutant it may vary, what type of industry is producing that pollutant. Okay, say for example, if it is a tannery wastewater means that may contain chromium as one of the pollutant, or petroleum wastewater means then that may contain phenol as one of the pollutant. So depending on the source we may get the various types of contaminant from the industrial wastewater. So the wastewater will be like a complex mixture of different pollutants. So it is very tedious, very difficult to treat or to handle like the industrial wastewater. So you can see that it has a variable quality also, and the volume also it is highly unpredictable. We cannot able to judge, we cannot able to say how much volume will be produced today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow, next week. It depends on the process, what is happening inside the plant. So we cannot able to, it's a very dynamic system. The wastewater quality is there, right? It's a very dynamic one. We cannot able to judge or we cannot able to predict what will be the quality today or how much volume will be released from the industry. That is not easy to get. So also what I'm trying to say is that's the reason the wastewater is of major concern, because we don't know what type of contaminant we are dealing with. It's a complex contaminant. It's not a single contaminant, not a single pollutant. It's a very complex mixture we have. So the technology also has to be upgraded to handle this type of contaminants and all. So it is nothing but the water from manufacturing process containing various chemicals. So as a chemical engineer, we know that all the manufacturing sectors, so they use a large amount of water, maybe for cleaning purpose or washing purpose. Okay, for cooling purpose, huge amount of huge volume of water is being used. See, now all those waters will be having some sort of contamination because of the processes, and that will be let out as the wastewater from the industry. So the problem is, suppose if the wastewater is not treated properly, then we all know what are the consequences we are going to face. Okay, the environment will get spoiled. The neighboring water body may get spoiled because of this pollutant, and we have to use some specific treatment method like adsorption, ion exchange, or any reverse osmosis to remove the contaminants before discharging the waste into the nearby water bodies or the land. So that thing we have to consider. See, those aspects only we are going to cover in this subject. Then the sources are sources of pollutant is there, no? That is from diverse sectors. So including food and beverages, all sort of industries, manufacturing sector. So everything is going to generate the wastewater or the pollutant, and each will be having its own properties also. We cannot able to compare, food and beverage will be giving out some sort of waste. Textile will be giving out some sort of waste. Electronics will give you some sort of waste. We cannot able to compare the properties of each and every waste. They will be differing in their quality and the quantity also. So the contents, it may the commonly observed contents are dyes and solvent, oil, greases, heavy metals, nutrients, pathogen. Suppose if it is a bio industry means, then there is a large chance of getting a pathogenic organisms in the contaminant also. Then the common use of, actually the water we are using, water we require because it is one of the plant utility. Plant utility means it is one of the necessary source for a chemical industry. Without water, we cannot able to run the plant. The electricity, the fuel source as well as the water. All these things are necessary for a chemical industry to run properly. So the water, where it is used is that it is used for cooling purpose, washing, rinsing, and then processing, then steam generation. Suppose if some place we want to use high pressure steam, then for that also we want water. So these are the common applications of the water in the industry. Then the contaminant types are like as you can see that heavy metal, okay, so almost like all the dye industry, textile industry, then tunnel industry. So all the industries, they produce this sort of the heavy metal contaminants. Then organic compounds like pesticide, pharmaceutical, dye compounds, solvents, all these things will be coming from the hydrocarbon industry as well as from the textile industry. The nutrients, suppose if you are having a fertilizer plant, means then the wastewater coming from fertilizer plant, that will be like rich in all these the excess nutrients like nitrates from power plants and all. Then oil and greases, this also comes from the metalworking industry, then food processing, and then refineries. So these are the typical contaminants that is produced from the different types of industries. Then there are some undesirable wastewater characteristics present in the wastewater. For example, if you consider soluble organics, this is one of the prime contaminant in the wastewater. It can cause a depletion of dissolved oxygen. The nearby water body is there. Suppose if the wastewater is sent into the water body, then the soluble organics will absorb the dissolved oxygen in that nearby water body. So because of that, what will happen? Okay, so lack of dissolved oxygen means all that aquatic organisms will die because of that. So the quality of then second thing is suspended solids. So suspended solids is also of major concern in wastewater, because this also it can able to cause some deposition in the nearby water body, as well as this will prevent the penetration of sunlight into the water body or lake. So thereby this also will prevent the development or growth of the plants, water-based plant or marine or aquatic organisms in the nearby water body. That also will get hindered. Then the priority pollutants such as phenol and other organics also, they are discharged from some specialty chemicals like refineries as well as fertilizer industries also. So they also can cause some odor in the neighboring area and all. So all these contaminants we have to target. That for that we have to follow some processes and all, like adsorption, coagulation, RO process, to remove all these things and all before the water is sent into the river or lake. So thanks for listening to the lecture.